Kits are super easy to get you started on projects, and this one is not like heavy duty floral design. This is simple and easy and adorable. We're going to start off with a bunny base that comes in the kit, and she is really chunky. She's just loaded with angel vine and really gorgeously painted gold. So she's got this gold vibe, she's got these gold ears and polka dots, so much fun. And what we're going to do on her is we're going to add her little tail at the bottom on this gold tail pick that also coordinates and goes so well together with our door hangers. Now, this kit's available in teal or pink, and we're going to make them just a little bit different, but this is the pink version of the kit. So we're going to start off by taking the part that has the tail and just cutting that off and keeping that stem to about 2 or 3 inches, and you're just going to need some wire cutters. It comes with a hanger on it up here at the top, so you don't have to do anything special to hang this on your door. You're going to need a little bit of hot glue, so I've got my electric skillet with the hot glue off to the side. You could use a glue pot also, either way, but that's what I'm going to go ahead and get some glue on my stem first, and we're going to push her in right into the grapevine. Now I'm going to have her tail kind of go off to the left over here. You can pick which way you want yours to go, and you push it into the angel vine, and it's tight, a little bit tight, pressure going in, and that tail's going to go in right there. And you kind of want that to shoot off to the side. And the nice thing is it's all wired, so it's really super easy to do that with. And you can pull these curls a little bit forward. I think that makes it so much fun. And you can just have so much fun letting that rock and roll. Now get up here into this pick and take that top section off, and we're going to use this a little bit lower. You're going to want to dip it in your glue, but I have some glue left over on here from where I just pushed that one in. So I'm just going to tuck a little of that in side by side. So you created her little tail sticking off to the side. And instead of having a bow or something, we're going to keep it super simple, and we're going to put a beautiful butterfly right in here on the front. Now you can take and fluff out her wings a little. I manipulate them to give them a little motion. And I want her to kind of tuck in this way. So I'm going to trim this off, and once again, like a 3 or 4 inch stem, and we want to put that in right beside where her tail is. So I'm going to just get a little bit of glue on here, and then we will pop that in, go in the opposite way. And I want these to kind of overlap, so this tucks in right there. Oh my goodness, so cute by her tail. Like that butterfly just landed on her tail. Isn't she precious? She's very simple. That quickly this is done. This would be a great kit to do with your grandkids or your kiddos. And you could get, if you have double doors, you could get 2 pink. Or if you wanted to do, like say you had little boys in the family and little girls in the family, or grown-ups, either way, you could get a pink kit and then a teal kit. And you can make your own. And I'll do a video using the teal one too, but I hope you can see how cute she is and adorable, and she's gonna pop right off your door. So if you're not wanting to work with all the flowers we normally are, this is a perfect kit for you. Just work with simple, beautiful products and make her easy peasy to hang on your door, all right? I picked out a gypso, and with the gypso, just like I had to do in the container that this week's tutorial, you've gotta take and make it into little clusters. But we can cut this into little small clusters too. Like we can come down here and we can separate it. So if we want to give the chick a headpiece, I've got a little smaller floral. I've got a yellow peony here. Or this might be a ranunculus. I think this is a ranunculus. These are smaller. For the floral, we could give him a little headpiece and just make it all cutesy. Let's do that. The other option was to make it into more of a floral design, come in the front and come in the back, like we did on the big bunny. I'm going to get my foam on. We can kind of stay small with the foam because we're dealing with a kind of a smaller project anyway. Let me zoom in a little for you guys. There we go. Oh, these are my scratch foam. If I use one right there, then it could be like a little side headpiece. I think that'd be cute. I need my Gorilla Glue. And we're going on the side of the wood here, so it'll definitely suck in our foam there. Good. I'm going to keep this pretty small. A little bit here and a little bit here. Okay, so my foam is on. I'm going to use the same technique where I cover the glue with some Spanish moss. And we'll put that right in.
perfect. These are so cute. You guys, I cannot wait for the workshop stuff. I think you guys are gonna have so much fun. We're gonna have so much fun with flowers. I'm really excited. Okay, so his little hat's on to start with, a little bit of foam, and then I've taken and we put the Spanish moss where the glue is poking out anywhere, and we are ready to start building in there. So whenever I'm building and I just put something on, like I'm always going to try to hold the foam. But if you have time, you can prep your base ahead of time, then come back, and then you don't have to be quite as worried about popping the foam off. But when you just put it on, you're just getting it set up, it could just pop off. All right, let's start with a little bit of fern. I'm not going to use a whole lot, but let's get a few pieces in here. And I am going to take and cut this one, and I'm going to put it into the 2s again so I can get more cuts out of it, because we're not going so big on this one. The bunny head is pretty tall, so we had a lot of space, but this one we're just going to kind of go around the shape. So don't cut the bottom stems yet, because we might want some length on them. I'm just holding to push that up. Okay, I got all my little pieces here. I got a couple that are a little thicker. Let's use those. So we have more space on this side, so let's take the thicker one and go on the right with it and kind of start to shape it out. And this is just going to be a little bitty head piece to the left. But if you have a craft show coming up, these are great to fill your booth. And if you have some, cute little pieces left of your collection that need a little loving, like that you've had for years, it's a great way to take and add some loving when you put your decorations up. And it can be a spring, like this is a chick. It doesn't have to just be for Easter. It can be, but I can leave this up longer too. Okay, and then I'm going to take this piece and just kind of have it pop in. I can either go left or right. I'm going to just have it go right. I think it's a little simple one. And let her hang that way. And then I'm going to use one more to the left. Start to kind of fill out our base, right? Okay, kind of like a crisscross. That's our first step. Put some of the gypso in. Now if you push a gypso cluster all together, you get a nice little pretty cluster like this. And I think that would be really cute right along the head. So let's use a couple, maybe full strength. I love these. I just love that wildflower look. Oh, these are so cute. I'm gonna put, look how cute this is so far. I just put one on either side. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Okay, here's some of our ranunculus. I've got some fun little pieces with it. I'm gonna cut it down into its own little piece here. And then I like to usually wrap. If a stem comes loose, I wrap it around so I can get it all in its own cluster. I moved the speaker closer to me in case, not the speaker, the mic. So if I'm blowing y'all out now, let me know too. Make my own little cluster. I'm going into my foam right here. I'm working on either side of that main. Oh my gosh, this is cute. Look how cute this is gonna be. Okay, let's put one big cluster of the gypso in the middle, because this one's not gonna have a main flower. It's gonna have this gypso. Oh, I have spoiled rotten poodles. They're just out of control. You don't want to watch one of those dog, obedience classes and then have like the worst dog obedience with your own dog. And you realize you failed. This one's a little higher. I gotta pull it out, guys. It's a little too high. Oh my gosh. Well, it's fun. The dogs have their own, relationship, but Ari's always in trouble because she's being overly, I'm working on the outside of my triangle. I'm going to bring it in a minute, okay? I've got two on the outside. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, they'll sit for a treat and they'll you know, come back and yell at them. Does that count? I think Ari's just a full-blooded poodle and she's just a diva, and so she's going to be the dominant one and you're not going to get to, you know, through it. Okay, we got a yellow nest going on up here on his head. So cute. I'm gonna add a little pink up there too, and I've got two sides working. I'm gonna get some clusters of flowers in the middle, and then we'll pop in some pink. I love it. But we're basically cutting everybody down small. We're taking our time. We're still using our principles of design, making our triangles and setting our perimeter. So I've got my first triangle on the right. I'm gonna make one on the left. I'm gonna do a little cluster in the middle of the ranunculus. And we're gonna add, I've got all these too, we're gonna add these white pieces that are coming off there too in a minute. I'm working on it. It's just, we gotta take our time, go a little slow. She's gonna be cute though. I'm excited about her. It just makes them whimsical, guys. It makes them whimsical. Okay, let me see if I can make that a little shorter, this guy here. Okay, there we go. Now, I want to put in some of those little white, well, let me put in a little pink first because I want to break up some of the yellow. This is so cute. It almost looks like a little nest on the head. I don't have any birds, but you could pop in a little pink bird up there. It would be so cute. I have to keep an eye out for that. See, I'm coming apart. I'm coming in with pink now, y'all. You can barely see it, but the pink's coming in. So, oh, this is cute. The pink is coming in there really cute. Look at that. Let me open that a little bit more. See it coming in? Oh, so cute. I can't wait to take pictures. They're going to be adorable. So I'm cutting down these little white ones right now, and I'm going to cut down some little yellow ones too that are in here. We're going to put a little bit more in here to get it all cutesy cutesy. So I'm adding in the white now with the pink, and I think that's all looking really, really cute. You're looking at her from a weird angle, but from here she's really adorable. Only thing I might do is I might cut down this cluster just a little bit so you can see a little closer to her eyes. You know what, I'll push this up and then we'll bring in a little shorter piece in here. I'm gonna go a little shorter towards her face. You guys, I would encourage you to try a project like this, especially if you had a crazy day like today where I thought we have no Facebook, our business is in the commode, what are we gonna do? You know what, we're gonna take a deep breath and everything's gonna be okay, and we're gonna just control what we can control. And about all we can control is our reaction to all that, right? Sometimes I'm better than at than others. See how I tucked that in a little bit? It's almost like giving it a haircut. That's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna put a little more pink kind of towards the foreground. I think we did good on the shape, but I want a little more pink in here. Look how cute. This is so freaking cute. All right, I'm gonna bring this in. And let's go on the left. All right. I'm gonna put one more kind of coming up, I believe. I think that would be nice. So the key with this is just cut these short into little pieces. Don't think that they're too little. I mean, that's just kind of what you want to have going on here, and just kind of enjoy the process. I think these are a lot of fun. Now, you could also, like if you need, like I need to fill up my booth this week. I've got a show this weekend. I could go a lot smaller here, okay? I could use a little less floral. I could keep this a simple cluster. I could even staple gun with a bow. So you could do it like really full and more detailed, or you can keep it simple and easy. And what it helps you do is it helps you give a handmade touch to something that is not necessarily handmade, but it's going to give it that touch. It's going to set it apart. It keeps you separate from your competition because no one's going to do it like you do it, right?
You want to make it with us? You better get in here. Here's all the supplies you get in this puppy, and we're going to make it adorable. Y'all, you're going to get 2 full rolls of ribbon. You're going to get this great base. It's the cutest Easter egg door hanger. And then we've got coordinating ribbons to rock out some beautiful bows to go all together. Yep, when you get a little sparkle and a little foliage and, of course, some little yellow balls. We're talking beautiful, and I want to show you how to make it. So come on in, y'all. I'm Keleas with Keleas.com, and this is our latest kit. What I'm going to do right now is show you how to go ahead and prep your base. You are going to need a little bit of floral foam. That's not going to come in the kit, but you can pick that up at your local craft store. And these are basically floral foam I've cut into 2 small blocks. And you're going to put them opposite, and it's up to you. You can have them on the right and the left, or the left and the right. And I think I'm going to go the left and the right, just so this one can have its happy little Easter sign showing. And what I want you to do first is put a little Gorilla Glue down. I like that to help hold our glue, as well as hot glue. I've got my electric skillet loaded with hot glue right here, and we will be using it. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I cranked it up. Do you ever do that? I cranked it up to get it, melted quickly. But don't do that because that's not smart. It could get too hot. I was cheating. So I'm going to put a little bit of that there, and then I'm going to go opposite over here. Just kind of right on the edge of our base. Then let me get our 2 little blocks. And these are like 3 by 3 little blocks of foam, and they're kind of thinner, not really thick. I'm going to dip it in, just kind of scrape it off a little. And this is how we're going to go ahead and mount our florals on this design. So I'm going to take this one and just push it right down here. Push it in. And then one more at the top. Right? Now, you might want to also have a little floral foam, and that's to catch the back side here. So later, your hot glue back here won't show. And you can just put that on while it's hot. And down here, the same thing on that little bit of a back side. That way, if somebody has like a glass door and they're going to hang it, you're not going to see like messy glue. You'll just see some nice little sweet foam on the back. Okay? So those are in place. And now the fun part starts. We're going to put the florals together. When I'm teaching in design school, a lot of times we use greenery to do something called setting the perimeter. We're going to do that same thing today. We're going to use our greenery bush that comes in the kit right in the background. So if you would like a link to grab this kit and make this exact piece, we'll put that in the comments here, or just ask. And I am just going to make these a little shorter and then trim them down, my wire cutters, and we'll start to set a little bit of our perimeter with our greenery. And we don't need these really long, just trimming those all off. So I'm going to start to put a little of this kind of going on either side of this foam, kind of spacing it out. We're going to put 2 pieces on to start with. And then we're going to make these just a little bit smaller once we get our first few pieces in. See how pretty that is? And we're able to frame out kind of the shape of the egg. Now what I want you to do is take your next piece and cut it in half. And we'll be able to have that kind of coming out the top. Right here. Beautiful. And one on the other side. So that gets us started up here really nice. And we've got our 4 pieces in this piece, okay? Now let's come to the bottom. Down here at the bottom, we're going to do kind of the same thing, but I'm just going to have this, instead of going the same way, we're going to have it kind of go up and down. So I'm going to let this piece just shoot on down, right from the center of the foam, but kind of coming out. And then let's take one of these and cut it in half and kind of go on either side. So we're basically doing the same thing we did up here, just kind of changing our direction. Oh, nice. And right here. So we've got those 3 pieces in, we've got 4 up here. We've basically set our perimeter with our greenery. So it's a great starting point, and we're ready to put the next layer in. So the next layer of this design is going to be this pink floral stem. It is great. It's got some really cute pink florals and a little bit of a purple pink. And with these, we don't need them super long, so we're just going to trim them off like this. Just take and tear them down. You can save that wire for another project. And then take and just cut these off. All these little messy pieces, we're just going to cut each one of these off. Now, I am going to divide each one of these into a couple of sections just by kind of separating them. Just like this. All right? And then we'll kind of crisscross the wires that are left there and twist these leaves around. You really want the leaves facing forward if possible. Okay. Get that floral head up, and we've got a nice little cluster there. Now we're going to put that in up top. And I'm just crisscrossing those if they come unwired a little bit or unwrapped. And we're going to push these in right here, kind of to the front of the foam. We're going to have a bow in there hiding all that goodies. So let's just have this little leaf pit go down here. That looks good. And then we can have this one go out to the other side. So I'm just going to cut this one too, and we'll... All those wires are loose because we cut it short, but don't worry, just twist it around. And we'll make our own little cluster. Don't need any extra tools. Now give that a little twirl in the glue pot, and we'll have this one come out to this side. We got a good start. We got a little bit of the bright pink, a little bit more of the purpley pink. On either side, we still have room for our bow in there. Probably work these a little more up and down. Now let's come to the bottom. We'll take another one of these sprays. We'll do that same thing and just separate it out. I'm going to bring these flowers out. We'll have this kind of work on either side here. Just have fun with these. Even if you want to tear them all the way down, that's fine too. Into their own little wires, because we're going into foam here. So I'll put a little leaves going in between here. That looks great. Let's see what else. I've got a little fern here. I'll trim that off. Let's put it on the other side. Yeah, that's good. That adds a nice little texture there. Now here come some of my little flowers. Let's put one of those where it's going to trail right out the middle of the bow and kind of come down here. Just like that. Okay? So I've got a kind of a start with the pink florals in there. And I am going to get the bows in next. So we make the bows on a different video. So we'll link that here if you don't know how to make your own bows. And you'll have that access. It'll also be on the supply list when you buy the kit so you can get to the bows. But we've got 2 different bows going. We made one that's a long tail bow, and that'll go down here at the bottom and really work really cute down here. So let's put it in first. And we put U-pins on these bows. And so I can just put some glue on that and press this into the foam. And what you want to do is, if you want yours to look like mine, you want to go on the top of the foam and push this in so this bow sits up really pretty like that. Now work some of these tails behind the greenery. Okay, here and here, and then leave these kind of up front. And I like to curl those. Move that flower to the middle. Now we still have greenery and foliage we're going to add all in here, but you can see what an impact the bows make. Man, they're good. So now let's put the top bow in. This one we made a little bit different. We made it a funky bow where it has 3 loops and then 2 loops and a little tail in the center. And this time I put this one kind of sideways. So once the bows are in, we are able to go to town with these pink florals and our yellow balls. I'm really excited about them. Okay, so let's have this kind of go sideways. And this time I'm going into the front of the foam. Now work your florals in here. There's our first one. Our other one's over here. So pull it in. Look how cute this is. Our little happy Easter sign is still showing, looking great. Now, we're not done. This is where we are right now, but we're gonna take it to the next level. Isn't this cute? I love this. All right, grab your yellow balls. We're gonna work these in next on this spray. And what we wanna do is just kind of pull these all apart into their little clusters. And we want to have these kind of popping out of the top especially. So I've got a little bit of pink flowers left still too, and these are my next big fun item. So we can't use these as long as they are, they're a little bit too long, but I'm going to take and just cut them on the stem into different sections. Like here it can be a double, and then here it can be a single, all right? So let's just start at the top. And I think it'll be really cute just to kind of have it come out of the bow up here. Look how fun this is going to be. This is going to be fun. This is so adorable. This is so fun to make, y'all. And I love this color combo. That yellow is just popping with the pink. Here comes this one. We'll have it kind of come down under here. Just put that right under the bow. And now we've got our balls on the right side. Let's put some balls on the left side, all right? So grab a little bit more. Here we go. I'll do the exact same trim up job. This one a little bit shorter. And so if we did it on the right, we're going to do it on the left. We tuck this behind. This is just tickling me so much. It's so cute. I love putting these balls and things. They just always they just dance. And when the wind blows, these things dance on your door. And they move, and they're just so cute. All right, we got a couple more that we're going to use down here. And right now, if you notice at the bottom of our design, let me bring it up a little bit. See if you can see it. So at the bottom of our design, nothing's coming up, it's just going down. And that's kind of important to this look of this design and the direction we have things going. So in design school, we're always learning that. We're learning how spacing, direction, depth, all that makes a huge difference. So we're going to do some of that today too. Even though this is a simple door hanger, we can take a little more time to put these pieces in to kind of create those same types of lines. So I'm going to take, I got some glue strings on here. Get out of here, glue. And we're going to start with our first set of the balls just kind of going straight down, all right? Going right where we had the other, oh, I stuck that right into my hand. Thank goodness it's not that hot. Right where we had that pink flower. So these will kind of come out. And I am going to, he's flopping around because he's on top of my other hanger up there. He's not going to flop on your door when you make them. Those are going to come down there. And then I'm just going to do a little bit on each side with these other pieces here. So let me get this paper off. Sometimes when you tear it, you'll have a little paper. It's no big deal, just pull that off. And we're going to go a little bit on the right, a little bit on the left. Yeah, oh my gosh, I love it. Trim this one. Then our final step is going to be to grab our leftover greenery and kind of work that down here at the bottom. And then a little bit of pink up there at the top, I think would be cute, of this bottom bow right here. So let's take these and make them a little smaller. So one nice thing about our exclusive fishtail fern is we can take and divide it into smaller sections. We're going to have one little piece popping up first. So not a lot coming up, just a little touch. And now we'll have more coming down. Right here in the middle I need some. Yep, pretty. And then I need a little bit up here at the top. Kind of underneath the bow. I need a little pop of this. So I'm going to divide it into some smaller pieces. Yeah, look at that. I love it. And then on the right. And then we'll bring that ribbon out of there. Perfect. So we're done with greenery. We're done with our yellow balls. Look. It's so cute. I mean, she is ready. Now, I'm going to pop back in here, and we're going to work with our pink flowers that are remaining. And there's not a whole lot, but we're going to use these all individually. So when I pull them off there, they all have a nice little wire that can go into this foam, no problem. And you want to use these like the little delicate details. And we're going to pop these in between each little layer here, okay? So I'm going to pop this one in here. And let's go with a couple above. Just a little touch kind of popping up. Not a whole lot going up, just a little. And one more of the nice flowers just kind of right in the center. Let's put a little bit at the top. I've got some really good like ivy looking leaf here. So we can use this maybe up at the top up there. That would be pretty, kind of going the same direction as that yellow ball. And it's got one pink flower on it, so I'll use that up there. It was right here in the middle. That can shoot up, and I'll bring that little ivy in there. It's really cute. And then I'm going to use this little cluster coming out of the bottom of the top bow. You can see how much fun you can have with this. A little bit more greenery, and I think I'll use that right at the top here too. Cut it down short. I wonder if you can push this one a little. No, you cannot push. That was wired. Okay. We're going to start with a 14-inch wreath base, and we're going to kind of go way off this base. Think about that when you're getting ready to design. Sometimes you can start with a smaller base and really use it as kind of like the structure for the design, and then go way off of it. And that's what we're going to do in this one. We know that the main durable piece in this is the bunny head here. So he's got to go in first. I'm going to be putting him right over here on the right side of the wreath. And I'm just going to be poking him in with some of our skewers so he can just go right into the base. These are our wooden skewers, and we use these instead of cooking. We're cooking up something pretty, a wreath. We're going to use these to stake him into the wreath base. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I know I'm going to have him over on this side. And he does have a little hanger on here, but I'm not going to use that this time. So I'll just take my scissors and we'll just chop that off. Give him a little haircut because we don't need that. But I do want to add a lot of support with the skewers to hold him in place. We're going to do that right now. So once I know where I want him, which is pretty much on the right side of the design, then I'm going to take the skewers and we're going to dip them in glue. And you're able to kind of come in and start to attach him. You're just going to kind of get some, you got to have a little bit of angle on it. And you're going to feel it go in. Okay, the first one's in. And usually I want to do 2 or 3 of these just to make sure I'm getting it in there good. This one will come from the back. All right, let me trim that one off because it's a little, it's gonna poke out the back. All right, we'll trim both of those. So we've got 2 in. Now my next angle is we need some from the top because we need it supported everywhere. And that's why we designed these bunny heads out of foam, so they are super easy to attach to a wreath base. I'm going to do the same thing, and this is going to go into the top of his head. So you can see here I went in way at the top, and now I've got 3 in there, and that may be enough. I'm going to give it this shake test just to see. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, I think that's fine. You could put as many as you like.
You can also take and put a wire in the back and just totally wire them in, whatever's easier. I just like to use my dowels. It works pretty well. And you kind of use leverage all around to help hold it. The tension helps hold. The first part's done and the bunny's in. All right, now let's start part 2. We need to add that greenery. This time our greenery is going to be this cherry blossom bush. And so with this one, it's got a floral head and a greenery and a little filler flower. So I'm able to separate that into sections and have the perfect picks. So I'm going to do that for 2 bushes. Once you have your pieces all torn down, we need to take and do what we call shaking hands. So that means we're going to make friends with this spray, and we're going to shake hands and get each piece spread out to where it's really pretty. And then trim off the edge so it's nice and neat, so you're ready to put these in your wreath and you can start creating your design. I'm going to do that with every piece, and then after every piece is fluffed out, we'll start putting them in. Okay, Blue Merinos, we have shaped out. We shook hands with every one of these pieces, and now we're ready to start to put them in our design. I know that I'm going to want to put my bow right here in the center. So I'm going to start working out in so I kind of get a shape developed. So we're going to go over here in my electric skillet. My glue pot is right here on my left. I generally have that out of camera because it's not pretty. It's just over to the side. And I'm going to take, and once I get a little glue on these, we're going to start to press these in and shape out our design. Now, one of the neatest trends we've been playing with is like neutral pieces for Easter as well. And they have doing so well because the farmhouse, the natural look, even though some of that is kind of going out, there's so many people who have that decor and they want seasonal pieces to go with it. So it's kind of like a cottagey, fresh, clean look for Easter. And we've done it for many years, but we are doing incredibly well with it in our Etsy shop. When I put something up new that's natural, people are loving it. So that's kind of why we are making this design today in this color palette. I've got my longest pieces in, and now I'm going to work towards the middle. Everybody gets a little glue, and then I'm putting them in to the design here, just going between the grapevine. I'm not pushing it to the back. It's going between. We'll keep shaping that out. Putting it in here. Thank goodness we've already shaped these. It helps it go a lot faster. Now we're just going to kind of do mirror image. What we did on the bottom, we're going to do on the top. And I'm going to bring that in here to the top. I love it. We have lots of design school students who love to come and create and learn how to create for stress relief and just a really fun hobby. So it's so fun when we kind of get in the zone and get to create together. I love this part. Now, this is a little bit of Spanish moss, okay? And whenever I get too much glue or I've got like a gap that I need to fill and make sure a stem doesn't rotate on me, I'm gonna put a little of that Spanish moss in there. So that's what I just did right there. Okay, so I'm down to where I have 4 pieces left. So I'm gonna take, and we're gonna cut a little bit to go to the inside. So we're gonna take one of our pieces and just get our wire cutters and cut that in half here. So I get 2 smaller pieces out of one big one, okay? You could do that anytime with any floral you have. Most of them can be sectioned out, no problem. So if you're limited on how many supplies you have left to make something, think about sectioning it out so you can kind of get even distribution in your design. Don't worry, okay? You can make it work. So now I'm gonna bring these 2 to the center and go right between those. Okay, and then I'm gonna give this one a little bit of a bend. We love working with things that have that nice wire in them. Let me show you where we're at so far. Look at this. The bunny head's in. I've got 3 pieces of the cherry blossom down here, 3 above, and we got a great base. We're just starting off, but we got it. We got a great starting point. And we call this setting our perimeter. And sometimes we do that with florals, sometimes we do it with grasses or greenery. Here we did it with a combination of both. So we set our perimeter on the design. Next step, we're gonna keep these to the side. We'll be using this more in a little bit. And now I'm gonna grab my tulips. I love my tulips. These are some of the small tulip bushes. And we're gonna cut these down to go in here and start adding them in. They're a great spring flower, and these have a cute little head. So I'm gonna take and start to cut these off here.
and then we'll put them in our design. The leaves can push up just a little bit, and I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna cut, cut, cut. And I like the leaves kind of a little bit tighter to the head anyway. We're just gonna take and cut those off. Okay, Bloomerinos, all the heads are cut off those bushes, and now I have individual tulips just like this. And we're gonna put them right into our wreath base. Now, I've got a great shape going, and we wanna kind of work with that as we continue to design in here. So I'm gonna put these in clusters of 2, and then we'll take and we will get them loaded up with the glue. Now with these tulips, could you make sure you're seeing the front of the leaves? That's one of my hugest pet peeves ever, is when the leaves are backwards. So try to make the leaves go to the front. And we'll start off by putting some down here low. And then we're gonna work our way backward up to our, what we call our transition point, where the direction shifts. So we're gonna work on that. So that's 2. Let's do a cluster of 3 here for fun too. All right, so I've got it in a cluster, and then I'm gonna put them all 3 in together. I'm giving it a good swirl in my glue. And we're gonna come out here. I cannot wait to put this puppy in my Etsy shop. Whoop, this one got loose on me. Let me get some more glue on it. It needed a little bit more. Okay, perfect. It's gonna go in there. So I've got 2 clusters down here at the bottom. Let's go to the top and we'll add some more just up at the top. So I'm gonna start with a cluster of 2 to match this one. So I'm looking for a shorter one here. Here we go. So a long one, a short one. And I'm giving that a little swirl in the glue pot, and I'm gonna come up above up here. Let's go in here. Yay, those 2 are going in right there. Now, I'm gonna do this one matching right in here. So move those floral blooms over. Oh, and I want them to stay together pretty good clustered. So I'm gonna push them and watch those leaves. Don't you turn on me, leaf. What I wanna see a back. I like the cute front on the leaves. Here we go. Now I have a cluster of 3. I'm gonna hold it tight. And we'll do the same thing like this right in there. Let's come up here. Come on in. All right. I want to make sure it's going into that wreath. Like if you feel like, something's stopping it, you got to pull it out and redo it. And sometimes there's some grapevines kind of holding it up behind. And then if you get a little hole, grab your Spanish moss. Right in here, I've got a little bit of hole, so I'm going to push some moss in there. It kind of creates a nice little bond with the glue and the Spanish moss. All right, now let's have a little bit going to the outside. Now right in here, I think it'd be great to have some going to the outside. Right in this back part. But before I put it in, let's put a little bit more of the cherry blossom with the greenery, and it's got a little bit of fern in it. Let's put that in next. I'm gonna cut this into 2 smaller pieces again, because I think that works a little bit better. We don't need it so long. And because we want to kind of tighten up this outer perimeter as we get back to the middle here, because this is where our bow's going to go. So now I'm going to take and put a piece right here. I love that. A little short piece, and we're leaving a little space open for the bow. And in design school, we call that the bow zone. So we'll leave room for our bow zone right in there. Now I'm going to come above. I'm going to do the same thing. Just going on the top side of the bow zone. Yeah. All right, now we kind of have a good base set in there for us to add the tulips back here. So let's do that right now. I'm gonna grab 2 and 2. We're gonna do 2 clusters of 2 because I want you to save about, I think we're gonna save 4 tulips to work in around the bow. And then we're gonna save some of the cherry blossom spray to go in around the bow too. And I'm gonna show you why that's important when we get to that part. So now let's put these tulips in. So our clusters went 2, 3, 2. All right. It's a weird math thing and I get all into it, but I'm not gonna go too crazy right now, but just know 2, 3, 2. All right. You don't have to add it up or do anything with it. Just enjoy the process. You're supposed to have fun and relax, Keleas. Why are you talking about math? We're just saying. We're just saying. All right, let's go on the top side. Y'all, my daughter does all this math stuff that's so high level.
That used to be my jam, and now it's like, oh, what are you doing? You're passing me so fast. I guess that's what they're supposed to do. All right, let me show you what we got going so far. We got our bunny head in our first step, and then we laid the gray perimeter. We started off with our foundation here with our cherry blossom, which has our greenery and everything. Look how cute it is. This guy is so cute so far. And then we came back in with the tulips. Still the same color palette with the cream and green. And we did the 2-3-2 pattern up and above. And now our next step before we add any more floral is gonna be the bow. And we're gonna put it right into that zone that we left called the bow zone. It's going right in here to the middle. So I'm gonna take and grab my cable tie and just put it through a couple of pieces of the grapevine here. You don't need to go through a whole bunch. I don't like going all the way through the back if I can keep from it. If you can keep the back of your wreath just pretty neat and natural, it's a little more appealing to people who have storm doors or glass doors. It's hard when you first start to keep the back neat, but over time you'll get a lot better at it. Mainly because you're not putting your stems all the way through the back, okay? You'll just get better, I promise. Over many years, I've gotten a lot better with that. Now that my bow is in the bow zone, I'm gonna kind of tuck it over a little, and we're gonna start to fluff it up. And you need to boss it around. You gotta be the boss of your bow. Be a little aggressive and layer in the tails. Because we don't want to feel like, I don't want to feel like my tails are just all only at the front. I want them worked in to the design. I just want them worked in there. I love this. Bring that down. Let's bring these here. Flip this around. Oh my gosh, how cute. See how cute it's coming together ready with putting that bow in? And this is immediately picking up the black from the hat and the black on the glasses, and it's really tying that in with that pop of the black color. And this is velvet too, so we even have the same texture going on. All of that's kind of really important in the cohesiveness of your final project. So think about that when you're putting stuff together. Even the texture can matter in design. Now I'm going to grab the last few pieces we have left as promised. And we are going to start with our greenery. And we're going to start using that first. And I want to use it in and around the bow, because that makes it feel like it's coming out of a garden or the woods and very fresh. So I'm going to take and trim these all down to where I've got 3 pieces here. And we're going to work that right into the bow itself. So I'm going to start with this one up higher. This is a pretty long stem. Trim it down shorter because you're going into that space right behind the bow, and you just don't have a whole ton of room. So I'm going to trim it down a little. And we're going to go right above. Going right above. Oh yeah. Once you do this, you're going to love it. I mean, once you start to break the plane of the bow a little bit with florals, you'll just love that. And it just makes it so soft looking. So I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to work on the outside right here. So I don't have to cut this one so short, but it's going right in behind the bow. Just going to tuck it in and then bend it. There you go. Bring it forward, and then now I've got that coming out. And oh, I've got one more piece here we had already cut. And this one I think I'll use kind of out and down in this section right here. So you can literally just go slow and layer these pieces in. They're short and they just stay tight to the bow. It's kind of your detail finish work that you're working on. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the inside. And we'll cut this piece down too into small little pieces. So even every stem you're using in this project, you can take and trim it down. If you haven't gotten the kit for this project, we'll be happy to share that link with you. Just ask for it in the comments and we'll get you the link to the kit. Okay, I'm going to trim this piece off. And now we're going to work a little bit more to the inside. Same song, different verse here. I was just tearing off a little paper. Sometimes the paper gets a little bit long. And if it does, what happens? You end up putting in your glue pot and then you're swinging glue all over on that paper. Just trim it off. Just tear it. You don't even need anything special. Just tear it. All right, I'm going to use a little bit more right in there. So I've kind of come in between each little layer of the bow and softened it up. with the greenery and the filler flowers. So perfect. Right there. Oh, look at that. Okay, let me show you. Let me give you a good close-up. Oh my goodness, so cute. So stinking cute. Okay, we have some tulips we saved for around the bow too. We're gonna do those next. We got 4 tulips left, and I think they would be super cute just to kind of tuck in around the bow. You can use them individually, meaning like 2 above the bow, 2 below. I think that would work fine. So let's kind of go with that plan. I'm going to take the first one here. I pulled the leaf up a little bit. And we're going to kind of go in. This one's kind of got this natural curve that way. So it'll go perfect right here, kind of curving over toward the bunny's head. And we'll just pop it in. Right in here. So I just move my bow out to the side for just a second. And then I just bring that back. Perfect. All right, so now I'd like one maybe in the middle, kind of coming right to here. So how about this one? We'll give it a little bit of a bend. And we'll go right above. So adorable. I'm loving this. Okay, so that's what we've got in the top section. Now we're gonna work in the bottom section. So in the bottom section here, our shape kind of curves around this way. So automatically, I think it'd be great to have one going in right here. So I'm gonna watch my leaves, make sure they are going forward and not facing backwards, and then just go right in here. And then let's do one more, just right, kind of coming out of the center. I think that's like a no-brainer. Matter of fact, we have one piece of the greenery left. Let's put that first in there, and then we'll put the tulip right on top. This is going to be just the perfect finishing touch. Right in here to the bottom. Have that kind of come down perfect. And then let's bring that tulip right out of there. I'm just going to take my ribbons and fluff them just a little bit. I love this type of color palette. I think it's just so natural. It's classic, timeless, and I'm sure that's why we always do well with it, because no matter how you change up your decor for different seasons, it's always going to work.
We're gonna make a super cute bunny kit. Are you ready? Let's get started. Here's what's gonna come in the kit. You're gonna have the bunny frame here, and this is a super great base we're gonna work on. You'll get a couple of the egg picks that we're gonna use for our main focal points around our bow. You'll also get a sweet little bunny like this. He'll come in there too, because he's going to be piggybacking on here. And of course, our killer fishtail fern greenery. Some of the things that you will need to grab out of your own stash are going to be, you will need your own wire cutters and scissors. Oh, you're going to get a roll of ribbon. I forgot to show you that. You'll get a whole roll of ribbon, so you'll have extra after you make the bunny. Then you're going to need a little block of floral foam, so you got to grab this at your local craft store, and they even have floral foam at the dollar store. Then you'll need a couple of cable ties to make the bows, and of course I like to use the little metal U-pins to pin things in. Those also come from the craft store. And then you're going to need your own electric glue skillet to do glue or a glue gun, okay? I only use electric skillets, so you're going to see me using that in this video. All right. So to begin out this process, we're going to prep our base. You guys, and if you want to grab this kit, you're going to want to send us a text. Our text number is 832-734-5201. You want to send us the word kit, and it'll send you our newest kits, okay? So it just depends when you're seeing this video. This will be either the first one, or it might be a few down if we have some new kits that have come out. This base comes with chicken wire in the back, which is super duper cute and so easy to work with. What we're going to do is, this is my electric skillet with the hot glue in it, and I'm dipping that in, getting just a little glue on the tips, and then I'm grabbing the frame and securing my little block of glue. And so that way I start to make this solid base to create in. So go through the grapevine, push it into the foam so you get that nice and solid. And I've done that 2 times on the bottom. I'm going to do it, try to get it once from the side here. Push that in. Let's flip it over, and we can do it from the back also, because it's got that wire frame. We can just go right through. So that way, 3 to 5 pins usually is good enough. I just like to make them extra stable because I'm going to sell my pieces. And my design school students know I'm really big on making things that last really a long time. So our thing that's going to take up the biggest space in this design is the bow. So let's put our supplies to the side and we're going to make the bow really quickly. We'll put Bunny over here. Now, it's up to you how long you want the tails to be, but our whole design is at the bottom of this range of the base. So we're treating this bunny like it's a wreath frame, okay? So I want the tails to be fairly long. So once I decide my length, I did about 14 to 16 inches here. Then I just twist that in my hand. Then I'm going to create my first loop, generally about 5 to 6 inches. Scrunch it a little and twist it, okay? So I created my first loop, and now I'm coming on the other side. You guys might hear some banging. There's some construction here, so don't worry. Nothing's wrong. One on each side. You see the bow coming together? Now I'm going to bring one up here, scrunch it, and twist it. Now I have 2 loops. Now I'm on to my third. And I made these just a little bit shorter than the other one. So I got a really cute 2-loop bow, 2 on each side. All right, if you want more, you could add more, but that's plenty for me. So I'm going to let those tails come down and just cut them straight to start with. We're going to come back and add some little detail of a dovetail. Now, you've got to come in and just tie that with a cable tie in the center. Hold that in the middle while you get it somewhat tight. A little pressure. Now, I'm going to add a floral pin to the back. So that's the metal U-pin. We're going to put one of those in the back here because we've got to press it into that foam. So put that in the back. Now get it real tight. All right, and cut that off. So your bow is ready to go. So you'll have a lot of ribbon still left on the roll to add to, you know, some candlesticks, some lanterns, maybe your mailbox, whatever it is. You can embellish more for the Easter season when you grab this kit. You guys, and you just text us to get the link for the kit, no matter where you're watching this video. Okay, we're ready to make the party start happening down here at the base. So what I'm going to do is just turn it slightly this way so you guys can see it kind of come together. And we're going to take, actually I might just do it like this. So you can just see what's going on here at the bottom. We're going to take our greenery and put a few pieces on, and then we'll work with our bow. So I love this greenery bush, and the reason I put it in this kit is so you could have it longer or shorter depending on your preference. I'm going to make these first few pieces. I scrunched them down to, I have about a 2-inch stem on there, and they're about a third of the size they were on the branch. Now we're going to just take and start to dip these in the glue and then have them start to shape up our base. So we're going to do this just like I would teach in design school, to start shaping out and forming our base. So we're going to get a nice spread of the greenery. So 2 shorter pieces on the right and left, the longer piece in the middle, kind of shaping out your frame. Now I'm going to bring that up a little. Let's go down now. And I'm going to have these be a little bit shorter because I don't need to be too dramatic, but I want a little pop coming down. So cut them a little shorter and trim them up. So when you hear me all excited about this fern and working with it, that's why. This is so easy to work with. Push these in, either side coming down. Isn't that super duper cute? So far, so good. Now, we want to go ahead and put in our bunny. Let me show you how she's looking together. She's so cute so far. Our bunny's going to go in the middle. She's got, you can have her go straight up or out to the left or right. I'm just going to have her go straight up and keep it pretty symmetrical. So I don't want her to cover up the head of my other bunny. I want her to be kind of just a little bit like, oh, hey, I'm a baby riding on here. So depending the size, I'm going to cut this, depending how high you want yours. And trim down that stem. Now before you dip this in the glue pot, grab that stuff out of your way. But I put glue right on the tip. And now I'm just going to gently push her in. Hold the stem. Good. She's so precious. I love her little blue bow. So cute. So she's kind of going in the center, pretty much just straight on centered. And then what I'm going to do next is we're going to grab our egg picks and put them in a little closer to the middle. So just pull her little bow back so you don't accidentally get any gluing on that. And these we want to overlap the foam slightly. Make sure you manipulate the eggs. We got this really super cute yellow and blue, and bring that greenery forward and these berries forward. Once again, this is one of the most important things you can do when you're designing, is manipulate the pieces that you are getting in the kit. If you buy supplies from Keleas.com, you know we're going to have high quality pieces that you want to utilize all these wires. Just take a second to shake them up and shape them. We call that shaking hands. I'm just crisscrossing these in the middle to see if I like it like that, and I do. I think that looks great. My bow will be going in the center, so I have to decide, do I want to cover up my big eggs or not? So if I want my eggs to stand out a little bit more, go just a little bit wider when I put those in. So space it out, and then take and cut the stems off. We're going to cut that little piece out. Okay, now let's take, and we're going to pin these from the front. This is why you need floral pins. Just makes you look like a rock star, guys. Dip them in the glue, go right in. You're going to use 2 floral pins. You got to have a second one down here. Remember I tell you I used to, well, you may not know, but I did craft shows for a living for 17 years. So it's important that I make sure that I grab these where someone can't pull that and pull that pick right out. Because this is just a pin from the front. You see I come in here from the side too? So now they can't yank it out if they wanted to. Oh my gosh, shape those so pretty. Okay, last step before our final step. Look how cute. It's coming together so cute. Put the bow in. Now, the only thing we haven't done is decorated in front of the bow. But we're gonna steal something from our pick in the back and decorate the front of the bow in a second. So put your glue on here and run that right in the center. Okay, oh, perfect, perfect. And what I'm going to do is I am going to steal one of these cute little eggs, and we're going to glue that right in the center to hide the center of the bow. Boom, in. And if you wanted, you could put an egg at the bottom and at the top. Let's do that. That'd be cute too. So this one will go right at the bottom, and that one will go at the top. And those are right in the middle of our bow. Oh, I love that. That looks really super clean and neat in the middle. All right, last step. Now, these, we need to make some smaller pieces out of them. So what I'm going to do is separate them out a little to where each piece has 2 leaves on it, okay? And the way you're going to do that is you take this and divide it into little sections. So just start sectioning it down like this. See, little pops? And what we need to do is we need to add a little bit of touches of greenery in towards the bow to really soften those lines. So you guys are getting tips just like I would teach in design school to make your work stand out from others. You guys, if you're not in our design school class, we would love to have you. Just text us or just go to wreathteacher.com. Or you can text us VIP to find out what the latest thing we have going and if design school is open. It's not open year round. You have to join it at one of the opening dates. It opens up a few times a year. So you can see here, I'm pushing these smaller pieces. They are going to go tight to the bow. And what happens is now your eye follows these tight pieces to the inside. It follows them on that line to the outside. And you create this beautiful, beautiful look as you're going all around your sweet little bunny. Oh my gosh, this is so stinking cute, y'all. And the final touch you might want to do is if you have any foam that is showing, we usually use our Spanish moss to hide that. So it looks really nice and professionally finished. But look how stinking cute she is.
Oh, hi, Blue Burritos. I was just unpacking our supplies from our latest kit, and you are gonna love this. It is so cute. This is a bunny family. Let me show you the bunnies. And you get 3 bunnies in the kit just like this. You get a couple of carrots. Let me show you those. Some of our favorite fishtail greenery, a big carrot and a little carrot that are so plush and fuzzy. And our 2 ribbons that go perfectly together. Yep, this is gonna be the fun project you're gonna make. This would be great to do with the grandkids. I think you're gonna love it. It is a kit, and we're gonna make it step by step together. I think you're gonna love it. So come on in here, get started with us. We wanna have some fun. Hey guys, if we never met before, I'm Keleas with Keleas.com. And what I do is teach floral design, but sometimes we like to do fun projects like this they have some floral design in them, but they're just cute and they make a big impact on your door. And that's what we're gonna make today. And this particular one we use, you'll get 3 of the bunnies in the kit, and we're gonna make like a little family with them. So I want you to start off by putting 1 bunny at the top, and you could do this on a table. The kit, the only thing you're gonna need, it's gonna come with all the crafting supplies, but you're gonna need some wire cutters, some cable ties, some hot glue, and some floral pins, or a way to pick things and put them into the foam, and a little bit of floral foam. So the basic floral design supplies you'll have to have, but we're gonna have all the fun components, so you won't have to go anywhere to grab those. Now, I'm gonna grab some cable ties, and we're gonna build our family and put them together. So what you want is 1 bunny up high, okay, and then 2 bunnies down low, just like this. And you can decide how high you want them, but it looks really cute like this if you have the little crook of their neck right around the side of the body right here. And then we want these to come in the middle so we can attach them. So I'm going to show you, we're going to do that one side at a time. So we're going to start with a little head here and attach this first. And I like to kind of, if you'll do it backwards, you can kind of keep all the ugly part on the back. So I'm turning it, you can tell by the ears which is the backwards part of it. It's a little hard to see from the front. But then the cable tie can kind of be hidden in the back. All right, I gotta go up just high enough where these bodies can come together, something like that. So let's start with the first one. So remember, everything's backwards right now while I put these in here. And there's a little support wire, so if you can get through that a little bit and then come back around, it will keep it a little more camouflaged. There's not going to be a lot of weight on this or anything, so you're probably pretty good. Now, if it's giving you a hard time, this is why I like to keep that awl there. Right here, you can just take an awl or something pokey like a screwdriver. Anything that's, it got to be a little bit smaller, but I can poke a little hole under here, and now I can make a little pathway for my cable tie to go in. So I just put it in just like that, okay? And sometimes they'll go through easy, sometimes you're gonna have to help it a little bit. Hopefully we got a good plan here. Yeah, see how easy that goes through? So we're gonna put the first one on. I'm not gonna tie it tight yet, I'm just gonna get it holding a little, okay? So it's just going like that. Now let's go on the other side. Still backwards, right? And do the same thing over here. I want to make sure they're kind of even. All right, when I get ready to tighten them up, how's that gonna look? That's gonna be so cute. There's gonna be the whole family on the door. Oh man. Okay, let's do the same thing over here. So I'm gonna use our little trick we just did and get that fuzz off there and just go through with my awl and make a little hole. And we're just putting a little more effort into this because I'm trying to just hide the mechanics. Because I'm trying to teach you right so it'll look really good and finished on the front especially. Okay, so let's bring this one over here. And you do need to kind of match them, you know, kind of keep them similar. They don't have to be exactly perfect, but close. So I'm gonna go up a little higher here. And let's see, how does that look? I think it looks pretty good. All right, so let's go through here and attach this one on this side. That's not gonna let me. It says you gotta get out that awl and poke a hole, ma'am. It does make it a lot easier. All right, come on through there. Come on through the hole, buddy. All right, I got it. And now we're gonna take and attach this very loosely, not tight yet. The reason I'm not doing it tight yet is I need to make sure we've got enough room to be able to, you know, wiggle it if we need to wiggle it, but we're doing good. All right, we'll pull these tight now that we know they're right where we want them. And you're gonna try to just push that little knobby part where it's
kind of where it won't scratch somebody's door, to the inside here of those heads. All right, now let's go down here to the bottom, and we're going to attach these together right here. So same song, different verse. Make a little hole, make a little hole. So by doing this with the cable ties, what we're doing is we're just making it a nice, strong door hanger that's several pieces put together, but it's so cute. It really is cute. Now, if you're worried about any of this showing, you can take a little bit of ribbon, like some little green ribbon or some Spanish moss, and you can cover this on the back. I am not too worried about it because it's going to be on the back and it's green. It coordinates, so that looks pretty good. And my last thing I want to do is I want to put another cable tie right at the center of the base so that it really makes it solid. So I'm going to do one side over here because we're going to put all of our fun stuff we're putting on, our carrots and our ribbons and our greenery, is all going in this middle section. So we've got to make sure that's strong. So I'm going to put one more piece here. I think we're going to end up using 5 cable ties on this base. All right, and one more over here. I love that we're doing it all in the back so nobody sees anything. Okay. Put my all through, and then I'm going to pull it back. You could use like a shish kebab skewer. Just be careful you don't hurt yourself. But making that little hole makes it so easy. All right, here comes our last one. So pulling it tight, and I'm just going to tuck it in right here behind. All right, now just trim off all of these little tails poking out. I'm going to grab my wire cutters, and we're going to trim all of these guys off. You hear the clip, clip, clip? That's good. We're moving on. So look, that was the back. Are you ready? Look at the front. Look at the front. You're not going to see anything. Don't worry about it moving, because we're going to put some foam right there in a minute, and this puppy is going to be perfectly ready to go. Isn't he cute? All right, so cute. All right, next step, get the foam on. All right. So the floral foam is. You want to use this foam right here. It's like dense. It's not sandy. It's dense, and it's not made to get wet. We're going to put it right here where everybody comes together in the center. Okay? I'm going to put a little glue on that. We're going to glue it, but that's not enough. You're going to need to use some wire to attach it as well, just for security. I'm dipping this in hot glue in my glue pot. So you get a bunch on there, and now we're going to go right in here. Okay? And what we're going to do is I am going to use some of my floral pins. I've got them in my little basket under here. And they're just a little metal U pin. You can see them. Can you see that? It's a little U. See that little metal pin? All right, I'm going to take and glue this. Put a little glue on that, and we're going to go right into the body of the frame of the bunnies and into the foam. So that way it just holds it on there. You don't want to rely just on the glue anytime you're putting any kind of heavier attachments. These aren't that heavy, but I just don't trust that the foam would stay on. It might come off. So we're going to back it up with several of these little pins. And that's the same technique we would use in our class. And we're teaching how to do floral design. You use these pins for this. You can also make some out of some heavier wire if you don't have them. You can make some, or you can just buy them in the pack at the craft store. Okay, so our little bit of foam's on. Now we get to do the fun part. The fun part is putting our carrots on and in place and getting our bow in. So we're going to start with the big carrot first. I want him to kind of come off the side right here. So I can still kind of see my bunnies, but he's working off the side. Is that so cute? I love that. So it does have a seam of the fabric, so I'm going to watch where that is, and we're going to just put this in right here. And the easiest way to do is I can attach it here at the top, right to the greenery first, and then I will also use a floral pin to pin it into the foam to hold it. but I want to count it, you know, I want to make sure it's going to stay. So I'm going to grab my awl and we're going to poke a little hole. And we'll just use our cable tie up there. So I'm poking a little hole in here, just like this, wiggle, wiggle, and it'll go right through the fabric. And you want to hold that spot for a minute because we're going to go through there with the cable tie. Let me grab a couple more cable ties over here. All right. And you'll just push that through. It's got batting and things in there, but usually when you use the awl, it'll go right through, okay? So now take that around. We know it's gonna sit right next to our foam, but we gotta get it attached nice and strong. Once again, I'm gonna go through the bunny and not just around, so it's a little bit more stable and it's not wiggling as much. So we're going through. I love these bunny frames. They're just so forgiving, easy to work with. So easy. There he goes. And we'll put that on there nice and tight. Okay, just like that. And we will cut that one off. Bunny's getting her carrots. So cute. I'm gonna play with those leaves a little. One down, one up. And now let's poke these in to hold it against the foam. I want to tuck it right there. So just take it, poke a hole. All right, but you need glue on that. You can't just put those in and they won't stay because they're like a smooth metal. So you're gonna put some glue, and now we're gonna use that to push into the foam. All right, push it on in, and now that's gonna make it snug right there. You got a little glue on it, no big deal. We're gonna just let that set up, and we'll be ready to go. Now, grab your bow. We made the bow on another video, so you are gonna want the link to that video, which you will get the link to it if you purchase the kit, and you can also ask for it here or find it on the supply list for this project. So the bow needs to tuck in really tight right here. So I'm going to add a wire to the back. We have a cable tie in here, but we need to get that actually on a strong wire, so it'll be a little stronger. And I'm going to use 18 gauge wire and make a little bit bigger floral pin. We could save that for another project. And just take and make this, so it's a little bit larger than a normal floral pin, and I'm going to push it on into that foam there. So there it is, a big U-pin, okay? And we're going to push it in. And I want it right next to the, carrot, just like right on in here. There you go, perfect. Now fluff it out. It's going to take a little beating here. I'm going to fluff it back out, and that's so cute already. And make sure you find the center of the bow. It's right here, and I want that to be kind of matching the angle of the carrot. There's so much in design that is about angles and things, and that's, I love to teach you that and show you that and make it easy on you. Okay, carrot time. Grab the second carrot. This carrot's gonna kind of come down a little bit more. I want this carrot to be at the center of the bow, but kind of work its way down into those, down into the bunny tails and the ribbon tails right here, okay? So find the seam on the carrot. Let's put that at the back. And then we're going to put her right in there. We're going to use that same technique that we just did with the bow. So I'm going to take and make a hole. And we'll make a little heavier wire. This is 18 gauge wire. We'll have that kind of come down. You might already have that in your craft room. I'm just feeding it through, and always make sure you get a good section of fabric. See, I lifted a lot of fabric, so it's gonna be hard to pull out. And then we're gonna make that into a little bit longer U-pin. Not quite that long, but a little bit longer. And I'm gonna put some glue on it for my glue skillet and just put it on there. I should have done that with the bow. I dipped the bow. I didn't mess up, but that is a great way to get glue everywhere. Now pull that bow up. We want this to tuck under the bow, okay?
right there. I want it to be right here along the bottom of the bow. Push it in. Make sure it's going into that foam. I'm going to put one part up and one part out. And I want it to kind of dangle into the ribbons anyway. So it's okay if it moves a little. Just make sure you got it secured really good. Just want to make sure it went in. Okay, that looks great. It's so cute. I love it. All right. So our last and final step is to take and add some greenery. I love to put greenery in there to just kind of mix it up and add some contrast. We've got all that bright green on the back of our design. Isn't it cute? I love this. All right, now we're going to take these and we're going to push them up just a little bit. I do want to leave them long because we've got to get to that foam behind everything. And we're going to use a few of our floral design principles when we get ready to put this stuff in. Okay, and let's trim this all down. I think you are going to love this. Okay, and this will just add a little soft wispiness. So I'm going to get in here, and we're going to start over to that right side and put one in right behind the carrot. And you can just go right into your block of foam. The one kind of coming up here, like he's in the garden, and give him a little motion. Like, give that a little bend. Stop using stuff flat. Like, give it some motion. And I'll put this one in over here behind these carrots. And really, the nice thing is your bow is camouflaging all your mechanics, your foam. You don't have to have a lot of florals in here to do this design. And it's really cute. Okay, let's put one more right here. Hear that crunching in the foam, you know you're in the right spot. And I love our bunnies behind it. Their little heads popping out. Come to the middle, right behind the bow here. Yep. Y'all need this on your door. It is so cute. Let's put one on this side. Kind of coming down into these tails, so we can kind of have it peek out between them. So just take and, not everything has to be in the back. This one could be more in the front. Just kind of give it wiggling out. Let's put one over on the right. Bring these out a little bit. Work between those little tails. Kind of coming forward. Oh, yes. And then let's do one right down, kind of beside this long carrot at the bottom. And this can kind of cascade. Oh, this is so cute. I love it. I love it. This has been a design I've had in the works for a while, and I think you are going to love it. Today we're going to start with a 14-inch grapevine base, and this is just a really nice vine one that is, I try to pick out the best I can, but I'm always teaching in design school, you're going to get wreaths that aren't the greatest shape. So remember, there's a wreath you can make on all the shapes. This particular kit does not come with the wreath base, so you can make it on any base you want. But today we're working with a 14-inch grapevine. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our main character in this wreath, and he is this really cute bunny head. And he's going to go right in the center, and we are going to go ahead. I got to leave a little room for my big bow, and I think it'd be really cute to have my big bow at the bottom. So I'm going to shift him up and over a little, so I leave a little area down here. We have the bow video for you also, so make sure you ask for that in the comments, or you head over to the link for this kit. There'll be a link right there where you can see how to make the bow too when we get to that point. So let's go ahead and prep him up a little. We're going to cut off his little hanger. He comes with a little cute little hanger, and you can get these bunny heads without the kits on our website also, but we try to make it really, really easy for you to get everything all in one. And you don't have to go shopping to find what you need to make it. So I'm going to put him right here, and we're going to use some little wood dowels to poke him in.
Most of our wreath attachments, I try to have them designed on foam so they're really, really easy to put together. So we're going to come in with a couple of dowels in here and just kind of use friction to hold them in place. I want to make sure I'm going into his head. Let's do one more up from the top. So I'm just kind of weaving it in and out of the grapevine and then make sure we're puncturing his, either his hat or his chin. So when you end up with 3 different points of attachment, you're good to go. I'm going to trim that off. And now he's in, just like that. Really, really easy. Okay. And in design school, we do something called setting the perimeter of our design. So I told you today's video is a little sneak peek behind that curtain because class is closing at the end of the month. So you've got to get in before the end of this month. Otherwise, you're going to miss all the great spring content we have in there for you and the new things that are coming. I'm going to take this greenery. This is called our fishtail fern. It's also exclusive to Keleas.com, just like the bunny. We're going to take and just push this up a little, but I want it nice and wispy. And we'll cut this whole bush down. We're going to start to put some of this in our design. Okay. There it is, all trimmed out, and let's go ahead and start to put it in. I love this greenery because it's so wispy and really, really looks great in your wreath or your arrangement. Holds up really, really well in the weather too. Now, as I'm putting these into the grapevine, I use Spanish moss to kind of hide any mechanics. Now that will be in your kit, but you're more than welcome to get it on the website separately. We'll have a link there for you. I'm using the light green right now. All right. So I got a couple of pieces going up there. Now we're going to leave a little space for a bow. Sometimes we use bows in our designs, sometimes we don't. A bow is a really great way to fill in an area and make it super, super simple to kind of cover some real estate. You know, fill it in. Fill it in. All right, I'm gonna come on this side of his head and we're gonna kind of do the same thing. I wanna work that in, that grapevine right there. Put a little moss on. You could also put moss on your dowel rods if you needed to hide them. I'm just going to kind of wait till we're a little bit further into the design to worry about that too much. Okay, so I'm going to put him there and let's kind of work our way down. And if they're a little longer than you want, the nice thing about our fern, you could push it up and adjust that size. I am always throwing those cutters down. Apparently it's where I get my stress out. Honey Bunny, I save you by throwing my cutters down. Poor Honey Bunny's like, you're roping me into this wreath today? I'm innocent. I'm innocent, honey. You think he is? I don't think he is. I think we need to blame him for something. You know, now that all my videos are done at the studio here and they're not at the bloom room at home anymore, I can't blame him if I lose a tool. I literally cannot blame him because it's not his fault. That's terrible. That is just terrible. Oh, I want to blame it on him. Nope, no such luck. Do you guys do that with your spouses or your significant others? Do you do that? Man, blame them. Okay, I worked all the way around the perimeter, and now I'm going to kind of come a couple of short pieces on the inside because I wanted to tuck into this little hole right here. So let's get our second bush and really, really use that in there. So I'm just pushing it up. Push up, push up. I need a push song, like, to push it up. Push it real good. I hope you guys can't hear that music in the background too much. Someone has pulled up outside the warehouse and is jamming out. When they first got here, I was filming design school class and it was shaking the walls. It was like, brr, brr. Y'all, it was shaking my brain. So I said to the design school class, I said, Okay guys, I might just pause this and come back in a minute, but just as I said that, sure enough, went off. So at least it's a little more muted now. But I didn't want to go out there and, you know, have a confrontation or anything. I don't know a lot of the neighbors over here as well as I do on the other side. So I don't cause no trouble. We're going to be good neighbors. But I'm vibrating in here. And it's not the kind of vibrating I want. It's not a good foot massage, y'all. So I put those two in, just kind of snuggling up against his cheek. Isn't that adorable? I just love him. He is super duper cute. Look, he is so cute. He's rocking. So his greenery is in. Now I can kind of see this little dowel rod right here. And I'm going to get that covered with flowers, so I'm not too worried about it. So what you want to do now is grab your next floral in this kit, and that is this hyacinth. I love hyacinths in real life and in the springtime designs. I love them. I'm not going to use their greenery. I rarely do, because unless we buy a really fancy hyacinth, it's going to be just regular silk leaf. And I just like these flowers. They're just so pretty. So we're going to cut these off. They have a little notch here. And that is just a simple tip. Sometimes when something is notched somewhere, if you can cut it there, it's going to be easier to cut with your cutters. So if you'll look here, you see this right here? That little notch, that's where I'm going to cut it. Okay? I'm going to cut it right along there. And basically that's about 6 inches. So I am just chopping broccoli. Okay, they're all chopped down and they're off. And let's use these in. I'm going to use a little on the right side and a little on the left. It's going to be a little balanced as we put these in. So let's get started. And we can always trim the stems a little bit more. But I'm going to kind of put one here, kind of going between my pretty little fern. You hit it with a little moss. Let's get in there, buddy. Yes. And then let's work down from that a little right here. So I'm going to trim this one down. Pop it in. Come on in, you cutie. Stick in there. Yeah, it looks so sweet. I love it. Now let's go to the other side. We'll get a couple in there. And just kind of have a little on the right and a little on the left. All right. I'm still leaving that area open for the bow. Remember our bow zone. Welcome to the bow zone. This is the bow zone, where people will be making bows and putting their bows in their wreaths. And there'll be no crazy Twilight Zone or no crazy music playing. Please. All right, I'm going to put one more right here. We'll kind of have that one poking out a little bit, right under this cute little bunny's chin. I just love to make them look like they're just in the garden out here. I think it's so sweet. Yeah. Okay, great start, right? We've got the bunny, we have got the hyacinth, and we've got the greenery. And we've got a great shape established where he is the primary. I love his little glasses. So cute. Now, I would like to go ahead and put the bow in next, because then we're going to fill in a bunch of beautiful roses all around what we've got going. So let's go ahead and put our bow in. Now remember, I told you we tied this on another video. So I'd love for you to go see that video and see how we did it step by step. So we'll put that in the comments, ask for it, or you can also go directly to the website to the link for this kit, and it will always have a link to the bow. Because when you buy a kit from us, what we do is we make sure you get a QR code so you don't have to go hunt for the video. All right, just like when you're in design school, everything is in a portal, organized, you have your passwords and you have your special discount codes. We just try to make it really easy so you can use the things we sell and make beautiful things, because we know once you do that and you complete those projects, you're gonna come back and you're gonna want to do it again, because it's so much fun. Like wreathing and creating and crafting is so much fun. All right, I'm gonna put this in right here in the back, and we're putting it in that area of the bow zone. Yay! Okay, let's get in there and get it tight. Let's go. All right, get it nice and tight. All right, and then I'm going to trim off the end of that. And then I'll rotate it around. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's like popping up against his little cheek. You're like adorable. It's adorable already. All right, get this down a little bit. Get your tails working for you. Want those tails going, and I want this just tucking right into him, but it doesn't have to cover up his whole face, just right beside it. Just like that, okay? And we'll get him straightened up. Now, that is cute, but we are not happy with that yet. We got more to go. So I'm gonna take my last hyacinth and we're gonna use that up above his head. I wanted to kind of get these in first so that I can get a good shape going and figure out exactly how much we have working around here. Now, around the bow, we're going to work in that greenery that we didn't use yet. So we can kind of layer this bow out. And that's always a great tip, to kind of tuck in and manipulate all of this to get all those layers in that bow separated with the greenery. I think that's pretty. Okay, let's come in here. And you can't just go into the ribbon. That doesn't work. But you have to kind of separate the layers of the ribbon and then put the greenery in and then pull it into the bow. Right? Just like that. And I'll bring it down a little so you don't have to smoke that up your nose with the greenery, buddy. So I took that in right there. Now let's come to the outside. This is just too fun. So kind of like, you know, you got your background dancers and you got your main star. Well, the bunny's the main star, the bow is the main star, and then the greenery is like our background dancers. It's kind of coming up stage, going back, moving around. That's exactly what we're doing with it right here. So it's working its way into the program, I'll tell you that. And all of a sudden your bow doesn't look like it's just on there. It looks like it's in there, part of it. The huge difference. Can you tell that? Can you see that difference? Look at that bow now. Yeah. Yes. That bow now looks amazing with all that greenery in there. See it? So perfect. So the last two pieces in our kit are a beautiful rose. It's got this really curly leaf. I love that one in the center. And then we've got a filler flower that is a little rose. We're going to mix these in here, starting with these roses. So I'm going to take, and we're going to trim them off to where they got like a 5-inch stem or so here. And I'm going to leave this greenery on the stem. So we're going to do that with each one to where they're just a little bloom there. I'm going to break those all down. And we're going to get these in next. So we're just trimming those off. Just trimming. So that one has a little leaf on it, but I'll probably trim that off when we get that far. I love the color on these. They even have like a little purple down here. Okay, so now that we've got all of our bush cut down, I'm going to put these in like little clusters of 2 with one bloom up and one bloom down. I'm not going to do anything special, but just trim them at the same length. And I'm making sure that they have no leaves on them. And we're going to start to tuck these in. Right here, we're going to begin with some at the base of the bow. I'm going to move this over and we're going to put this one right here at the top. So this is a different color of pink. It's a little bit muted, but I think it adds a super duper richness because I must tell you, we've got the darker tones in the wreath base that I chose, and the bunny itself. We've got this little brown fuzzy ears and the bunny skin that's made out of the little sisal. I think it's just really, really neat. So put those 2 in there, and then let's have a couple come out the bottom too. So I'm going to pick a couple of longer ones. We'll just get rid of that leaf. And then I just have to kind of trim any little bits off. You don't want it to look like it's missing something. So because I sell my wreaths, and I want to make sure that when I'm done, I don't want the customer to think, well, I'm missing a leaf. No, that leaf was never in your design. But they don't know that, right? So we just trim that little attachment piece off. Okay, there are those two together. And let's put those coming from the bottom of our bow. So I'm going to separate out the tails. I'm going to go right underneath here. Just kind of have those tuck in too. I like these to be a little tighter to the base. Let that greenery shoot out, but this is a little tighter. Oh, that's so lush in there. I love these blooms. That's so pretty. Okay, let's use a little bit more. We're going to take our little leaves off. And this one has all that purple in the bottom. It's so pretty. This one has a little rose hip with it. I'll just leave it with it. That's fine. And then I'm going to stagger them a little higher, a little lower to give us some good impact in there. And then I'm going to take and just give them a little motion. Y'all, I can't even believe it's already time for design school to close for the season again. So I want to remind you guys we only open up a couple times a year and onboard new students several at a time. So this is our spring season coming up. So get in class. Right there. Ooh, 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 ooh. So pretty. That little bit of purple. I love that. All right, let's use some down here. See that line working? Oh, that's a little Freudian slip. I let it go. That's a design school thing. We were working that line. Yep. That's okay. I can tell y'all. Uh-oh. I hear the musicians moving out. I shouldn't say musicians, the musical players. All right, here's our two. We're gonna come over here. Let's just have these going right by his little chin. Oh no. Do you hear it? I spoke too soon. Like, dude, it's time to go home. Keep rolling. I think they're rolling on. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so cute right there. Just tucked in right under his little chin. Oh, ooh, 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 this is so pretty, guys. Okay, let's put one more right over there or right here. Let me look back. You always gotta step back and take a look at what you're working on. Oh, I love all the pink in here. It is fantastic. Let's go. Let's go with one more. I think we'll tuck it in right here, kind of behind the bow, just in case we need to have a little better coverage. Okay. Now, once all the main flowers are in, like we just finished in the last one, hot. Dang it, you got me burnt on the last one. Be nice. Buddy, I thought we were friends. I thought we were looking beautiful, Bunny. All right. Now we're going to use our pink filled flower, and this one has a little bit different pink, so mixing the three different pinks is really beautiful. So I'm just going to take and pull these out of here. We'll just pull each little flower, and I'm going to leave the other pieces. We can use those on something else. I just want the flowers this time. I thought you were going home, Mr. Musical Man, with your vibrating truck. Thought you were driving home, but you're still here. No, I think he's gone. I think they're gone. Oh, mole. All right, so I pulled out all of my cute little baby roses, and we're going to use those in here because they've got like little bitty, like a baby's breath on there, and then the little roses, they're going to go great. And we're going to kind of mix these in between our bigger flowers that we already have in. So I'm just going to take one, we're going to go right in here, just tuck it in, and I'm going to make sure it just kind of flops out of there. We don't want it tight, we want it to kind of come out and party with us, right? We're going to put one right in here, kind of coming out on these flowers over here, right here, and I'm just pushing that in, and that can just tuck right there. That looks great. Beautiful. Let's put one coming out this way. This one kind of coming out the bow a little bit. That would be excellent. I can't believe how stinking cute this is. We have rocked it out together, y'all. I'm loving it. Okay. So we've got one here, and one up here a little higher. So to finish it off, we're just going to tuck that one in right by his cheek, and I'm just going to give this a twist. Oh yeah. Right here, buddy. It's going to be your little cheek mate. You get it? So checkmate. Cheekmate. Let me show you. Let me show you. It's so cute. Let me pull that grass down just a little bit so I don't cover up his face too much. He is so cute. Look at him. I love him. So for kind of a little final touch, what I'll do is I'm going to take and I'll decide before I take pictures of him and list him in my Etsy shop. I'll decide if I want to leave the ribbons just kind of flowing down. Sometimes I do that. Or if we want to curl them up, all I got to do is just take my fingers and just like if you're putting a curler in your hair, you can curl them into little ringlets. My final piece of greenery, I usually just send back and I see where I could add it in. And we did so good with the greenery here. I think I'd like one little piece kind of breaking up that top section just a little. But I just loved how we packed the flowers in and just really let them shine in here. So I think it looks amazing. So what do you think? Are you ready to try one like this? For a super easy project, we're gonna take 3 supplies and one gorgeous bunny wreath base here and rock out the cutest wreath. Now let's start with the base. I want the little tail to shoot off this way. So let's start off with our double curl with the one pretty glittery spray is in there. I'm going to hold this like a pencil and we're going to bring it over to our electric skillet and just swirl it in. And I'm getting glue on there. You can use a hot glue gun. You can't, when you use a hot glue gun, you can't touch the glue and stuff like I'm doing here. It's at a lower temperature in the glue pot. So sometimes you might see me be able to touch the glue faster. Now I like to take these curls and kind of bring them forward and give them a little dimension and pop them like that. That's stinking cute already. We haven't even done anything. Adorable. Now, the other one with the tail, let's have it crisscross and kind of come out this way. Okay, and the tail's going to sit in the middle. So I'm going to take that and give that a little swirl again in the electric skillet. Okay, and let's crisscross these. Now, if you haven't seen the one we did in pink, it's very similar. We did it a little bit different. So I would take a little time and take a look at both the videos to see which one you like better. And you could maybe do a hybrid version of what you're seeing here. Now her little tail's there, but I like the idea that her little butterfly came in and just landed right here by the tail and have this kind of face up so when it's hanging on the door, it's going to really look good. So I'm going to take and bring a little glue to my butterfly this time with my dowel. Just getting that glue screen off. And this one's going to go on the top. Now, since this base is made of angel vine, it's very easy to press things into, and we had it designed really thick. So you don't have to worry about, you don't have enough space to add things on there. You've got space to get into the vine. The basic design is there already. Look how quickly and adorably that came together. What we're going to do is just use what we call triangle placement to put these in. And we're going to form a triangle around the butterfly. So you've got a little pop of color coming every direction in the shape of a triangle. So there's one. And I'm just pushing this into the gold base underneath. And so 1, 2, the third piece will come right here to go with your Easter decorations. Look how stinking cute, y'all. She is so cute. And there's her little tail right here, hopping away. Isn't that precious? I hope you try one of these type of door hangers, especially these custom design pieces, because they're not available everywhere. And you can take this bunny and I can give him a little dimension, pull these ears up a little. She's got a little hanger ready to hang up and ready to go and make your door look so stunning and so different this season.
I thought it'd be really cute to take this tire swing and put a Keleas twist on it. Of course, we're going to load it with some florals and some greenery, but it needs a little swinger. You know, tire swings are made for swinging, so look. Nana! This cute bunny with her carrot is going to be perfect size to just tuck right in here. So the first thing we need to do, though, is get this bottom ready. And what we're going to do is put a little bit of floral foam in there. So I'm just going to set her standing up so we can kind of see how she's going to look. Now, she's got a hanger right here at the top. So I want to keep that in mind, that that's going to kind of be my midline for this design. Now, no matter how simple or extravagant the design, you have to think about your lines. And that's something I'm always teaching to design school, is transition points and lines and how that design's going to come together. So in our case, Bunny's going to have to go right in the center. I'm going to take and put in a little bit of foam in here so that she is ready to go and sit on some foam. This is floral foam. It's the hard, crunchy kind. That's the kind I prefer. It's more expensive than the sandy foam, but it's better and it's going to last longer over time. So I'm going to dip this in my glue skillet. You get way too much glue on there, and then you're going to scrape that off. I'm just going to take and gently scrape it off. So I've got like a, you know, like yummy peanut butter on there. And then I'm going to tuck this right in, and one a little to the left, and then I'm going to put one to the right. So I've got a little block on either side. So we're going to do that on both sides. Get it nice and coated. There you go. And we're going to put this on the other side. And you can see we got a good start right here. And if you want, you can take and set this like against something, but it'll sit up for you. You just have to think about your lines when you're getting ready to layer it up. I'm going to use a little roll of floral tape, and we're just going to put that right there so she doesn't take off rolling on us and moving around. Let's get our bunny in there first. Now, I love these bunnies, and they are especially for us at Keleas.com because they have a little foam body. So when something has a foam body, it's really easy for us to attach. And I'm going to grab a little wood dowel. We'll put it in her booty, and then she could sit right in the center. I mean, y'all, so cute. We're just starting. She's going to be swinging in style in just a second. Shish kebab skewer. These are perfect. These are what you want to use to make a little spiky to go right into her that can go into the foam. So I'm going to cut this probably about 4 inches or so. Make me a little double spike. So spike on either end. And I'm going to start by putting the good part right in the center. And I'm going to kind of angle it out. Okay. Oh, that goes in so easy. And then what I want you to do is just kind of double check. It's a little bit long, so I'm going to make it just a little short. Take off a little at a time. And then once you know she's good to go, you can bring your glue pot over again. Give her a little swirl, and we're going to glue her right into there. We haven't even added the florals yet, but can you see how cute this is going to be? So cute! It's greenery time. We're going to use this really cute greenery bush. I love it because it has berries, it has twigs, and has all the fun stuff. But when we want to use something smaller and we want to break it down into small pieces, sometimes we can use the tear method. And this is something I love when we have florals that are available this way. We can just tear them into small sections. That saves us a lot of steps in prepping our bushes for our projects, whether we're making big centerpieces or small ones or wreaths, whatever we're making in design school, we're going to save those pieces. And then you're left with a really good piece of wire here that could be a wreath hanger. Just clean it up, pull some of the paper off, and don't throw these away. These are great to use whenever you need big pieces of wire to attach. So we're going to put that aside. I'm going to take that greenery that we just tore down, and we're going to actually use it in little small sections. So I'll take and cut it down even more. And if you have a rough edge from where you were tearing, you fix that and you pull it down. And here you go, you got 2 already. And we're going to do that for the whole bush. Cut them into little manageable sections, and we want to keep them wired together. That's important. It's going to save us a lot of steps. This section has twigs. Twigs are my absolute favorite. So I'm going to pull out the twigs. We're going to use those separately because they're my fave, and I'm going to pull them out. And then we're going to cut this into a couple of small little sections too. So I've got a little bit of vine and a little cluster. So I have a little bit of everything here. If you can, just take her little skirt, kind of pull it up out of your way, and we can work around that when we start to put our pieces in. So the first thing I want to do is I want to use kind of similar pieces on either side of her body to fill in around in our little tire swing. So this one's going to kind of come in. Now this greenery, this is why I'm suggesting it, it's wired everywhere. So that literally means I can manipulate it and flip it around. And now I have some greenery spilling out of the edge. And I love that. We call that breaking the plane in design school, and it's really important for what we're doing here. We want to break the plane and kind of soften the edges of the design. So I'm going to take another piece that's almost identical to that last one we used on that side, and now we're going to use this on the other side, okay? So I'm going to hold it like the cluster like this, give it a swirl in that glue pot, and then we're going to go in on the side behind her. Right over here, it's going to tuck right behind her. And we're going to use the same technique where a little comes out and spills over, and then maybe some stays inside, and that way she looks really cute from either side. I got a little touch of greenery, and definitely manipulate that to where it's coming out. Now, I think it's going to be fun to get a little bit coming out from below her. So I'm going to take her and put her on top of my little bucket so I can raise her up a little. Okay, this is just a pot that is painted that I love. It's so cute, but you can see it's going to be easy for me to work in and kind of see what's going to spill over. So we're going to switch that out a little bit. So she's just sitting in here and holding up so I can see kind of, okay, how cute is that going to look? So I know I want some more grass coming over the edge, so let's use another one of these little pieces. We're going to glue that and tuck that in. And this one's a little longer. I'm going to go over here on the left side, tuck that in. You see how cute she's getting? She's looking adorable, and all we've added is greenery. I still got her little dress tucked up, but when we get all done, we will take and bring that around. If you want a little bit of a greenery, I think I'm going to put a little bit right on the right side too here. This one has a little berry cluster, which will be a lot of fun right in here. So just keep working around. Ooh, look at that. Look how cute! She's looking so cute. So we've done a great job with the greenery so far. Next step, tulips. I love tulips because of the fun ways they grow and they reach out towards the light, and you can utilize those in this design too. So we're going to open up this cluster of tulips. These are our nice tulips. These are the real touch tulips, which are really, really cool. So I'm going to cut them open. Now I'm going to take these and we're going to work these all around. Now I would like to work these in clusters of 3 or 2, not just have random tulips everywhere. We kind of want to work them in little clusters. So if we do one on each side of 4 and one of 5, that would work fine. And then once we kind of know what we're doing, we can do a 3-in-1 type thing. I can take and just kind of swirl these around each other. Okay, so they're twisted around and they're not going to go anywhere. And then just trim this off to one longer stem. So now this one stem is going to work as the holder for everybody. All right, and let's have this one kind of come up high and see if that would work. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so cute. So I'm going to dip that in my glue skillet over here, bring your little arm over. Now you want to just pull that dress out of your way, because remember, we're trying to keep everything centered there. Oh my gosh, how cute. She's going in. I'm double checking. Yep, she went in. Looking good. So these 3 can sit up here, and then I'm going to take and bring these little berries out that were behind. Look how cute! All right, so we've got some tulips on this side, and then how about one that kind of comes down? And I'm going to go a little rogue with this one. We're just going to let this one just kind of curl up and reach out. Why? Because I like it that way. And this one's going to kind of come from the same area, but come down a little. All right, you want to hear that crunch into the foam so you know it's going in strong. And then there's what our one side looks with the tulips. Ah! Super cute. Let's do the other side. And over here, we've got 5 tulips to put in. So I'm going to start with a cluster of 3. Again, do that same technique. I'm going to go a little bit lower, so I'll just cluster them a little tighter with their cute little leaves. And then you just take and twist it around nice and tight, so a nice tight base. And then I'll trim that one off, and you've made your own little cluster. And you can leave 1 or 2 stems. I left 1 a minute ago, but I think it might be a little stronger with 2. So I'm going to go just a little bit shorter. And then this is going to go on the left. I'm dipping it in the glue pot, coming over here, and I'm tucking her in. She's going in. You can see she's a little bit lower here, which is perfect. We want these to be just a little bit lower, but I want them reaching out, you know, and coming. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And then our last cluster, I know I want to have some fun and kind of come down. So I'm going to fix her skirt so I can see where that skirt's going to be. Okay, perfect. This is so cute. The last 2 tulips. I'm going to do the same thing. I want these to be a little bit longer because I want them to crawl out from underneath her. Like, she just plopped herself in this little garden of tulips, and she's living her best life. So are we. So are we creating this. Now, I'm going to go all design school on you because I want you to think about what's the flow I want here. And so we have lines and we have flow, and right now we have that transition in the middle. But the flow I want to create, I think I want to kind of have a little C over here, and then have these tulips kind of come in front of her legs. Won't that be adorable? So I'm going to set her back down. I kind of leaned her back just a little bit so we can see the front of her really good. So if that's going to be a C this way, we gotta move, everybody. They got to be on the move here. All right, so grab it like a pencil. We're going to put that into the glue and just tuck that right under here. Oh yeah, she's cute. She's feeling that. She knows she's cute. She's like, I'm good looking. I know. And I want to push her in. Feel that go into the foam. Now you can see these guys kind of coming under the fern and coming around. Ooh. All right, now that gives us an idea where to put the twigs. And the twigs can help us refine that shape that we started with. So let's grab our twigs. So when we broke down that greenery bush, we were able to get one really killer twig like this. And if we're careful, we can tear it and we can turn it into 2 or 3. And I'm going to keep it into a cluster of 2 and one single one. And then what we're going to do is just gently curl up the twigs on the edges. I love that. I love to be able to curl these and just make them really wispy. See how wispy they are? Isn't that cute? And then we want to have some motion going into these twigs, like they are going with the direction we want them to go. And for us, we're going to use twigs just on this side where we're creating a little bit of that C shape. So I'm going to leave these fairly long so that they can come out of the top of the tulips we put right here. So I'm going to give that a swirl in the glue, and then we're just going to come right back here and tuck behind them. Oh my gosh. You want to hear that crunch so you know it's gone in, and then we have our little twigs, and that's such a little detail, but so cute. Can you see the twigs? There they are curling right there, right up here and right here. And then we'll take our last twig. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to come down and reinforce the line we created with the tulips at the bottom here. Okay, so the same thing. We're just going to twirl that around our finger. If you want a smaller little curl, you could use that barbecue skewer we just used, or a pencil, something like that. It's small enough it would work fine. This I'm going to leave pretty long. I've got glue on it, and then we're going to come in here to just right behind the tulips and tuck it in. You want to hear it crunch? Oh, there it goes. I heard it. And that little detail is just perfect there. So your final step is just to fluff out her little skirt, because that's going to hide all of our mechanics. And she's ready to swing over to your front door. We're going to start with a 14-inch wreath base, and we're going to kind of go way off this base. Think about that when you're getting ready to design. Sometimes you can start with a smaller base and really use it as kind of like the structure for the design, and then go way off of it. And that's what we're going to do in this one. We know that the main durable piece in this is the bunny head here. So he's got to go in first. I'm going to be putting him right over here on the right side of the wreath. And I'm just going to be poking him in with some of our skewers so he can just go right into the base. These are our wooden skewers, and we use these instead of cooking. We're cooking up something pretty, a wreath. We're going to use these to stake him into the wreath base. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I know I'm going to have him over on this side. And he does have a little hanger on here, but I'm not going to use that this time. So I'll just take my scissors and we'll just chop that off. Give him a little haircut because we don't need that. But I do want to add a lot of support with the skewers to hold him in place. We're going to do that right now. So once I know where I want him, which is pretty much on the right side of the design, then I'm going to take the skewers and we're going to dip them in glue. And you're able to kind of come in and start to attach him. You're just going to kind of get some, you got to have a little bit of angle on it. And you're going to feel it go in. Okay, the first one's in. And usually I want to do 2 or 3 of these just to make sure I'm getting it in there good. This one will come from the back. All right, let me trim that one off because it's a little, it's going to poke out the back. All right, we'll trim both of those. So we've got 2 in. Now my next angle is we need some from the top because we need it supported everywhere. And that's why we designed these bunny heads out of foam. So they are super easy to attach to a wreath base. So I'm gonna do the same thing, and this is gonna go into the top of his head. So you can see here, I went in way at the top. And now I've got 3 in there, and that may be enough. I'm gonna give it this shape test just to see. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, I think that's fine. You could put as many as you like. You can also take and put a wire in the back and just totally wire them in, whatever's easier. I just like to use my dowels. It works pretty well. And you kind of use leverage all around to help hold it. The tension helps hold. The first part's done in the bunny's head. All right, now let's start part 2. We need to add that greenery. This time our greenery is going to be this cherry blossom bush. And so with this one, it's got a floral head and a greenery and a little filler flower. So I'm able to separate that into sections and have the perfect picks. So I'm going to do that for 2 bushes. Once you have your pieces all torn down, we need to take and do what we call shaking hands. So that means we're going to make friends with this spray, and we're going to shake hands and get each piece spread out to where it's really pretty. And then trim off the edge so it's nice and neat, so you're ready to put these in your wreath and you can start creating your design. I'm going to do that with every piece, and then after every piece is fluffed out, we'll start putting them in. Okay, Blue Merinos, we have shaped out. We shook hands with every one of these pieces, and now we're ready to start to put them in our design. I know that I'm going to want to put my bow right here in the center. So I'm going to start working out in so I kind of get a shape developed. So we're going to go over here in my electric skillet. My glue pot is right here on my left. I generally have that out of camera because it's not pretty. It's just over to the side. And I'm going to take, and once I get a little glue on these, we're going to start to press these in and shape out our design. Now, one of the neatest trends we've been playing with is like neutral pieces for Easter as well. And they have doing so well because the farmhouse, the natural look, even though some of that is kind of going out, there's so many people who have that decor and they want seasonal pieces to go with it. So it's kind of like a cottagey, fresh, clean look for Easter. And we've done it for many years, but we are doing incredibly well with it in our Etsy shop. When I put something up new that's natural, people are loving it. So that's kind of why we are making this design today in this color palette. I've got my longest pieces in, and now I'm going to work towards the middle. Everybody gets a little glue, and then I'm putting them in to the design here, just going between the grapevine. I'm not pushing it to the back. It's going between. We'll keep shaping that out. Putting it in here. Thank goodness we've already shaped these. It helps it go a lot faster. Now I'm going to go, we're just going to kind of do mirror image. What we did on the bottom, we're going to do on the top. And I'm going to bring that in here to the top. I love it. We have lots of design school students who love to come and create and learn how to create for stress relief and just a really fun hobby. So it's so fun when we kind of get in the zone and get to create together. I love this part. Now, this is a little bit of Spanish moss, okay? And whenever I get too much glue or I've got like a gap that I need to fill and make sure a stem doesn't rotate on me, I'm gonna put a little of that Spanish moss in there. So that's what I just did right there. Okay, so I'm down to where I have 4 pieces left. So I'm gonna take, and we're gonna cut a little bit to go to the inside. So we're gonna take one of our pieces and just get our wire cutters and cut that in half here. So I get 2 smaller pieces out of one big one, okay? Just, you can do that anytime with any floral you have. Most of them can be sectioned out, no problem. So if you're limited on how many supplies you have left to make something, think about sectioning it out so you can kind of get even distribution in your design. Don't worry, okay? You can make it work. So now I'm going to bring these 2 to the center and go right between those. Okay, and then I'm going to give this one a little bit of a bend. We love working with things that have that nice wire in them. Let me show you where we're at so far. Look at this. The bunny head's in. I've got 3 pieces of the cherry blossom down here, 3 above, and we got a great base. We're just starting off, but we got it
we got a great starting point. And we call this setting our perimeter. And sometimes we do that with florals, sometimes we do it with grasses or greenery. Here we did it with a combination of both. So we set our perimeter on the design. Next step, we're gonna keep these to the side. We'll be using this more in a little bit. And now I'm gonna grab my tulips. I love my tulips. These are some of the small tulip bushes. And we're gonna cut these down to go in here and start adding them in. They're a great spring flower, and these have a cute little head. So I'm gonna take and start to cut these off here, and then we'll put them in our design. The leaves can push up just a little bit, and I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna cut, cut, cut. And I like the leaves kind of a little bit tighter to the head anyway. We're just gonna take and cut those off. Okay, Bloomerinos, all the heads are cut off those bushes, and now I have individual tulips just like this. And we're gonna put them right into our wreath base. Now, I've got a great shape going, and we want to kind of work with that as we continue to design in here. So I'm going to put these in clusters of 2, and then we'll take and we will get them loaded up with the glue. Now with these tulips, could you make sure you're seeing the front of the leaves? That's one of my hugest pet peeves ever, is when the leaves are backwards. So try to make the leaves go to the front, and we'll start off by putting some down here low, and then we're going to work our way backward up to our, what we call our transition point, where the direction shifts. So we're gonna work on that. So that's 2. Let's do a cluster of 3 here for fun too. All right, so I've got it in a cluster, and then I'm gonna put them all 3 in together. I'm giving it a good swirl in my glue. And we're gonna come out here. I cannot wait to put this puppy in my Etsy shop. Whoop, this one got loose on me. Let me get some more glue on it. It needed a little bit more. Okay, perfect. It's gonna go in there. So I've got 2 clusters down here at the bottom. Let's go to the top, and we'll add some more just up at the top. So I'm gonna start with a cluster of 2 to match this one. So I'm looking for a shorter one here. Here we go. So a long one, a short one. And I'm giving that a little swirl in the glue pot, and I'm gonna come up above up here. Let's go in here. Yay, those 2 are going in right there. Now, I'm gonna do this one matching right in here. So move those floral blooms over. Oh, and I want them to stay together pretty good clustered. So I'm gonna push them and watch those leaves. Don't you turn on me, leaf. What I wanna see a back. I like the cute front on the leaves. Here we go. Now I have a cluster of 3. I'm gonna hold it tight, and we'll do the same thing like this right in there. Let's come up here. Come on in. All right. And I'll make sure it's going into that wreath. Like if you feel like, something's stopping it, you got to pull it out and redo it. And sometimes there's some grapevines kind of holding it up behind. And then if you get a little hole, grab your Spanish moss. Right in here, I've got a little bit of hole, so I'm going to push some moss in there. It kind of creates a nice little bond with the glue and the Spanish moss. All right, now let's have a little bit going to the outside. Now right in here, I think it'd be great to have some going to the outside. Right in this back part. But before I put it in, let's put a little bit more of the cherry blossom with the greenery, and it's got a little bit of fern in it. Let's put that in next. I'm gonna cut this into 2 smaller pieces again, because I think that works a little bit better. We don't need it so long. And because we want to kind of tighten up this outer perimeter as we get back to the middle here, because this is where our bow's going to go. So now I'm going to take and put a piece right here. I love that. A little short piece, and we're leaving a little space open for the bow. And in design school, we call that the bow zone. So we'll leave room for our bow zone right in there. Now I'm going to come above. I'm going to do the same thing. Just going on the top side of the bow zone. Yeah. All right, now we kind of have a good base set in there for us to add the tulips back here. So let's do that right now. I'm gonna grab 2 and 2. We're gonna do 2 clusters of 2 because I want you to save about, I think we're gonna save 4 tulips to work in around the bow. And then we're gonna save some of the cherry blossom spray to go in around the bow too. And I'm gonna show you why that's important when we get to that part. So now let's put these tulips in. So our clusters went 2, 3, 2.
All right. It's a weird math thing, and I get all into it, but I'm not gonna go too crazy right now. But just know 2, 3, 2. All right. You don't have to add it up or do anything with it. Just enjoy the process. You're supposed to have fun and relax, Keleas. Why are you talking about math? We're just saying. We're just saying. All right, let's go on the top side. Y'all, my daughter does all this math stuff that's so high level. That used to be my jam, and now it's like, oh, what are you doing? You're passing me so fast. I guess that's what they're supposed to do. All right, let me show you what we got going so far. We got our bunny head in our first step, and then we laid the gray perimeter. We started off with our foundation here with our cherry blossom, which has our greenery and everything. Look how cute it is. This guy is so cute so far. And then we came back in with the tulips. Still the same color palette with the cream and green. And we did the 2, 3, 2 pattern up and above. And now our next step before we add any more floral is gonna be the bow. And we're gonna put it right into that zone that we left called the bow zone. It's going right in here to the middle. So I'm gonna take and grab my cable tie and just put it through a couple of pieces of the grapevine here. You don't need to go through a whole bunch. I don't like going all the way through the back if I can keep from it. If you can keep the back of your wreath just pretty neat and natural, it's a little more appealing to people who have storm doors or glass doors. It's hard when you first start to keep the back neat, but over time you'll get a lot better at it. Mainly because you're not putting your stems all the way through the back, okay? You'll just get better, I promise. Over many years, I've gotten a lot better with that. Now that my bow is in the bow zone, I'm gonna kind of tuck it over a little, and we're gonna start to fluff it up, and you need to boss it around. You gotta be the boss of your bow. Be a little aggressive, and layer in the tails. Because we don't want to feel like, I don't want to feel like my tails are just all only at the front. I want them worked in to the design. I just want them worked in there. I love this. Bring that down. Let's bring these here. Flip this around. Oh my gosh, how cute. See how cute it's coming together ready with putting that bow in? And this is immediately picking up the black from the hat and the black on the glasses, and it's really tying that in with that pop of the black color. And this is velvet too, so we even have the same texture going on. All of that's kind of really important in the cohesiveness of your final project. So think about that when you're putting stuff together. Even the texture can matter in design. Now I'm going to grab the last few pieces we have left as promised, and we are going to start with our greenery, and we're going to start using that first. And I want to use it in and around the bow, because that makes it feel like it's coming out of a garden or the woods, and very fresh. So I'm going to take and trim these all down to where I've got 3 pieces here. And we're going to work that right into the bow itself. So I'm going to start with this one up higher. This is a pretty long stem. Trim it down shorter because you're going into that space right behind the bow, and you just don't have a whole ton of room. So I'm going to trim it down a little. And we're going to go right above. Going right above. Oh yeah. Once you do this, you're going to love it. I mean, once you start to break the plane of the bow a little bit with florals, you'll just love that. And it just makes it so soft looking. So I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to work on the outside right here. So I don't have to cut this one so short, but it's going right in behind the bow. Just going to tuck it in and then bend it. There you go. Bring it forward, and then now I've got that coming out. And oh, I've got one more piece here we had already cut. And this one I think I'll use kind of out and down in this section right here. So you can literally just go slow and layer these pieces in. They're short and they just stay tight to the bow. It's kind of your detail finish work that you're working on. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the inside. And we'll cut this piece down too into small little pieces. So even every stem you're using in this project, you can take and trim it down. If you haven't gotten the kit for this project, we'll be happy to share that link with you. Just ask for it in the comments and we'll get you the link to the kit. Okay, I'm going to trim this piece off. And now we're gonna work a little bit more to the inside. Same song, different verse here. I was just tearing off a little paper. Sometimes the paper gets a little bit long. And if it does, what happens? You end up putting in your glue pot, and then you're swinging glue all over on that paper. Just trim it off. Just tear it. You don't even need anything special. Just tear it. All right, I'm gonna use a little bit more right in there. So I've kind of come in between each little layer of the bow and softened it up with the greenery and the filler flowers. So perfect. Right there. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, let me show you. Let me give you a good close-up. Oh my goodness, so cute. So stinking cute. Okay, we have some tulips we saved for around the bow too. We're gonna do those next. We got 4 tulips left, and I think they would be super cute just to kind of tuck in around the bow. You can use them individually, meaning like 2 above the bow, 2 below. I think that would work fine. So let's kind of go with that plan. I'm going to take the first one here. I pulled the leaf up a little bit. And we're going to kind of go in. This one's kind of got this natural curve that way. So it'll go perfect right here, kind of curving over toward the bunny's head. And we'll just pop it in. Right in here. So I just move my bow out to the side for just a second. And then I just bring that back. Perfect. All right, so now I'd like one maybe in the middle, kind of coming right to here. So how about this one? We'll give it a little bit of a bend. And we'll go right above. So adorable. I'm loving this. Okay, so that's what we've got in the top section. Now we're gonna work in the bottom section. So in the bottom section here, our shape kind of curves around this way. So automatically, I think it'd be great to have one going in right here. So I'm gonna watch my leaves, make sure they are going forward and not facing backwards, and then just go right in here. And then let's do one more, just right, kind of coming out of the center. I think that's like a no-brainer. Matter of fact, we have one piece of the greenery left. Let's put that first in there, and then we'll put the tulip right on top. This is going to be just the perfect finishing touch. Right in here to the bottom. Have that kind of come down perfect. And then let's bring that tulip right out of there. I'm just going to take my ribbons and fluff them just a little bit. I love this type of color palette. I think it's just so natural. It's classic, timeless, and I'm sure that's why we always do well with it, because no matter how you change up your decor for different seasons, it's always going to work with whatever you're doing. Blue Merinos, can you believe it? We made it together that quick and easy, and it looks like a professional job. And I know you could do it too, or you can create beautiful